Hello, my name is Jenny B. I am an astrologer and a theta healer instructor. I began my journey of awakening when I discovered my natal chart, and then I found theta healing and figured out how to heal myself from all of the energies that I came in with. So, today we're going to talk about the energies for the week of Sunday, March 25th, leading through, going then through the full moon that we have in the sign of Libra on the 31st. And it's another week where we have nothing in the air signs. So, we've got a lot of fire happening here in Aries, answering to the planet Mars in Capricorn, where he is in exaltation. We have the three big players of like war, violence, power, the rulers, the not so kind rulers, all happening in Saturn sign of Capricorn. So, in other words, all of the planets in fire, Jupiter in Scorpio, are all answering to Pluto for Jupiter. This is Mars, all answering though to Saturn. So Saturn is governments, institutions, rulers. It's school institutions. It's even institutions of church. It's the structure that society is built on. It's our foundation. Saturn is the great teacher. He's also known as the Lord of Karma. And this is a lot of fire energy answering to him. He sets things straight. He doesn't mess around. When you're having a Saturn transit, like go through your seventh house, it could be that you lose a lot of partners. Saturn will do whatever is needed to reform things to bring us structure. So we have all of these energies in fire. Then we've got Neptune in Pisces, which is water, and that's where he rules the sign of Pisces. But that's about, except for Jupiter and Scorpio, answering then to Capricorn. We have a lot of fire in the sky and not a lot of air. So when there's not a lot of air, it can be difficult to find words, especially now we're going through a Mercury retrograde. Words can come out maybe too quickly because Mercury is in Eris and he's in retrograde. So you want to count to 10, take a deep breath, maybe don't react right away as you typically would, because things can just slip out, and then give others the benefit of the doubt too. They could be having one of those, who knows what's happening with their natal chart, but yeah, we can be too quick with words. It also quickens the mind, so you can get to where you need to just, I've got a lot racing through my mind, and you're not able to get it out as much as you normally would be able to. So, okay, Sunday, the 25th, we've got the sun in Aries. Oh, I forgot the sun. The sun in Aries in a 90-degree angle, a square to Mars. So the sun square Mars is typically it could be an angry energy, but when the sun is in Aries, which Mars rules, so he's squaring the ruler of that sign, and we have the impetus to reach the goal. That's what this is about. Mars going through Capricorn and all of these planets in Aries, initiative, initiation, coming through, going forward, all answering to the ruler of that sign in his sign of exaltation. So with the sun square Mars, we're getting a lot of energy to push forward. Impetus, which is the word that Archangel Metatron used when I was looking at these energies. Impetus is the driving force, the motivation, the incentive, the inspiration, the boost, the springboard, a spur stimulant energy. So it isn't typically, that could be an angry kind of energy, but really this is making us, Mars is about action. So we're able to get things done with this energy. It's helping us, it's enhancing our growth and our initiative and driving us forward. Until the full moon, that's going to go on. That's been happening it started at the beginning, at the equinox. As soon as the sun tipped into Aries, he was squaring Mars, and that's going to go on now through this entire week. So even though now Mercury is retrograde, you're still moving forward. Mercury is just going to go back over some things that maybe were missed, but this is the time to get things done. Like I said, when I had someone else ask me, what about this is retrograde? Should I be doing this or that? And Archangel Metatron said it's never the wrong time to do the right thing. So whatever is going to move forward, whatever's been like on your mind or you've been meaning to do or something that keeps coming back to you, this is the time that you want to start that. This is a great initiating energy, great time to start new projects. And then the day before the full moon on March 31st, at the end of this week, so now building all through the week, Mars is coming up to meet Saturn in Capricorn. So part of this Sun square Mars energy is the push getting Mars past Saturn, but it's bringing stability too. So in other words, whatever might crumble now, it could be just wrong timing, or it doesn't have the lasting foundation that it needs. Saturn hasn't given his approval. But these are like with this starting energy and then moving up to Saturn and Mars in conjunction, it's permanent, lasting, stable things that we're building. And then when I was looking at that energy, my Archangel Metatron was playing Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. Is it Jefferson Starship? I think. We can build this dream together. Nothing's going to stop us now. So that's what we're dealing with all through the week. And remember, too, when Mercury is in Eris, people can get a lot of like, I know better. I know what's going on. I know best, because Eris is a lot of me. And I can say that. I'm an Eris rising. But what you want to do then is just, take the deep breath. Let things settle down a little bit. There's a lot of fire in the sky. People are all raring to go. But it's a great energy for starting new projects and building things. This is the moment that we've been waiting for. And the full moon is when things come to fruition and efforts are rewarded. So, or you can just have, insights and revelations about things. And it's good that the full moon is going to end up in Libra. So we'll get a little bit of air with that full moon. That'll be nice. And it will sextile the nodes of fate also. The North Node, which is down here in Leo, making that 60-degree sextile. That's a nice energy. So Leo, the whole time now that the North Node is in Leo, Leo is about your gifts, the gifts that you came in with, and leadership. We've got Sunday then, again, the moon in Cancer squaring this Mercury, which is retrograde, coming off of an opposition to Pluto. So that can be a day where you really want to watch your words, because there's a lot of emotion when you've got the moon in opposition to Pluto, and then you've got squaring Mercury there while it's in retrograde. We've got Venus moving now away from Mercury. She's been traveling with Mercury for quite a while now. She's pulling away as Mercury is going into his retrograde. Venus is making an aspect to Jupiter that's called the quincunx. It's an uncomfortable, but it brings us also another impetus. That's what I'm hearing. So it's like a taking charge kind of energy. Venus in Aries. Venus is about how we care for ourselves and how we love ourselves, and Aries is the sign of self. So Venus in Aries is learning to put yourself ahead of everyone else and realizing that that isn't selfish. That's how, when we raise our own vibration, each of us, that's how we raise the vibration of everyone else. That's how we all ascend. It's treating yourself the way that you treat your children, the way that you treat your loved ones, your clients, anyone. I mean, you name who, typically women, but men too, put others in front of themselves and make themselves last. This is about like taking care of yourself first, doing what nurtures yourself, doing what makes you feel good, nourishing, nurturing. Venus is also food because Venus rules Taurus. Taurus is about what we grow from the ground. And so it's about all of that goes along with self-care. It's like time to take a bubble bath, time to get a pedicure, time to pamper yourself, time to treat yourself the way that you would be treated by a really loving parent, a kind and loving parent. So yeah, and she knows her boundaries. So she's not going to be, her question is that valuable to you? Is that person treating you like they value you? And if the answer is no, moving on. She's working her way up to Uranus, which is the breaker of chains that breaks us free of our karma, breaks us free of any suffering, pain. And he's talking about freedom to be yourself, to express yourself while he's in Aries. So her coming up to Uranus could be like if there's a relationship or any kind of relationship, it doesn't even have to be romance, but anything where there's been, maybe it hasn't been going so smoothly, that's a breakup energy with Venus and Uranus. So this is also about freeing ourselves from the obligations of caring for others before ourselves. So a lot of us as mothers, maybe not even in this lifetime, but as healers, as mothers, as caretakers of anyone, have obligations, and we don't realize that we came in with like, I have to do this, I have to treat others like they're more important than me. So Metatron was saying that this would be a good time to do, like I said, I work with theta healing, so I'm going to go up into the white light that we're all a part of, the energy of God, and I'm just going to do some releasing and some downloads. And if they sound like they ring true for you, and it's something that you'd like to participate in, you can just say yes, and I'm just going to witness that healing taking place. Okay. So I allow myself to be released from any and all obligations to care more for the well-being of others and to put others before myself. And just say yes. And then I'm just going to download from the source of creation, the energy of highest truth, that white light that we're all a part of, that we're all sparks of. I know the Creator's definition, perspective, and understanding, and what it is and what it feels like to care for myself, to love and to pamper, to spoil myself, to see myself as a precious creation, including spending money on myself, knowing that I am special, I am precious, I am unique. I allow myself to see myself and to be seen the way that the Creator of all that is sees me. Okay, so this is a week that you're like, schedule a bubble bath, do a face mask, get a pedicure, like do something to tell yourself, I love you, you're important to me, and make, just 2 hours for yourself, just 2 hours for yourself. You can do pedicures at home. And it's also, this is a great time to begin to release weight. If we say we're losing weight, then our body will try to find it. So releasing weight, because you've got Venus coming up to Uranus. It's not even so much about, looking good, or it's your body. It's taking care of your body. Taurus that rules Venus can be food. So we can sometimes reward ourselves with food, but maybe the wrong kinds of food. So this is about rewarding yourself with healthy food so that your body feels better. And yeah, we've got, with that Pluto moon, you've got transformation, you've got values and food with Venus, and then you've got the blessings of Jupiter feeding into that, so helping it along. Especially for those of us that have gained weight, maybe since Jupiter entered Scorpio, like starting maybe last October, like if Scorpio is in your 4th house, there's so many different configurations, but, and even with Jupiter on Neptune, because a lot of people have like, not, food addictions but Neptune is addiction. So for everybody born like in the late 60s, mid to late 60s, not even mid, let's just say 60s, with Jupiter transiting through Scorpio, that can cause a lot of weight gain too. So yeah, and then coming up to the release of the full moon, that's a great time for that's a great releasing energy. You've also got the staying power of Saturn in there. And then also you could download, and I'll just say from the seventh plane of the creator of all that is, that white light energy of God. I am abundant without having a physical manifestation of being abundant, because a lot of times we feel these energies. Jupiter expands. So a lot of people with Jupiter transits tend to expand physically. So if you agree with that, you could just go ahead and say yes. And then also important to remember, Chiron is down here in Pisces, and he's forming that 30-degree aspect with Uranus. So for a long time now and a long time to come, we've got these two, Chiron, the invisible Chiron, and Uranus here, traveling. This is speaking to releasing ourselves from the wound of feeling unworthy of being one with our own divinity or being one with the creator. So that's amping up now as Chiron comes into the very last degrees of Pisces. Uranus comes into the very last degrees of Aries. And we've also got all week still that Pluto-Jupiter sextile. That's water and earth. That's a fertile energy. That's a building. Pluto is power. So it could involve, too, pushing yourself, gathering the courage to push yourself to doing things that you've been talking about for a long time, but you haven't actually had the courage to do. This is the energy that you need for that. All of this Aries, Pluto, Jupiter, Mars, Saturn. This is the time, and this is when you're going to have the most blessings for doing these kind of things. Well, I'm maybe not going to say that, but it's a very blessed time to start new things and to find the courage to step out of your comfort zone and do those things that you've been wanting to do for a long time and just haven't gotten out there and done it. Monday the 26th, the moon will move into Leo. That's very happy. Leo is the sign of leadership. It's the big-hearted lion energy. So, and then it'll trine the sun in Aries. That'll be a happy day. Monday will be a nice Monday. On the 27th, we have the moon trine Mercury in Aries, and then also in aspect with Lilith. Lilith, who's up here, also invisible, and she's speaking to our freedom and our independence, not letting others push us around. So with Leos too, and I can say that, I have a Leo moon. With Leos, there can be a lot of, I'm the boss, I know how to do it better. And then you've got Mercury retrograde aspecting with Lilith. And then Lilith, like I said last week, Lilith gets that, the reputation of being the bitchy divine feminine, which isn't exactly true. But every asteroid, every planet has higher and lower vibrations. So that would be the lower vibration. And then it's a great day to partner and collaborate with women because you've got that Lilith Mercury aspect. In the evening, though, Moon will square Jupiter, so that's a lot of I know better than you know. So maybe just not saying as much. On Wednesday, then, the 28th, Moon will trine Venus and Uranus. Venus will work her way up to Uranus this week, and on Wednesday, then. And he will square Lilith. That's a good day that's a sexy energy. That's a good day to dress up, to show off, to do something that, maybe like wear some makeup that you don't typically wear. It's a good day to do that, especially because then Wednesday evening, the moon will move into Virgo. Well, for the United States, it'll be the evening, and the sun will square Saturn. That's a very serious energy. And the moon in Virgo, you're more wearing like flannel nightgown and wool socks. So, but it's a productive energy too. So we've got that going on then on Thursday, the 29th, still that sun square Saturn energy with the moon in Virgo. Virgo is working too, and it's ruled by Mercury in Eris, which is in the sign of initiative. So it's working toward foundationing the future. Whenever the moon's in Virgo, great time to start a new exercise regime, something with daily care. It could be like, I don't know, anything could be like a new yoga practice or a change in your diet that is more healthy. Virgo is about, using less and being, not frivolous. So it's a good day to clean out the closets, good day to give things to charity. And then with that, the aspect that I was talking about with that, the Sun square Saturn, and then the Uranus and Venus perfects, and Venus being about how we value ourselves. It's that, again, that feeling of letting go, or not feeling, but letting go of the negative tapes that we play. So, like I was talking about a few weeks ago, Metatron was saying nature abhors a vacuum, and it's important to reprogram ourselves from things that when we were constantly criticized, or for whatever reason we have this constant criticism in our head. You can't just, it isn't enough to just say I'm not going to talk bad about myself anymore. Make a list, spend 3 minutes a day saying, Jennifer, you're kind, you're generous, you're beautiful. Give yourself 3 minutes to say 20 things that are kind to yourself, and start that tape, a new tape, a fresh tape. That's a great day to do that. That's on Thursday. Friday, the 30th, the moon will shift into Libra, and we're starting to feel the build of the full moon as the sun reaches 10 degrees of Aries. Mars and Saturn come into their conjunction. It's intense, and Venus is at the last degree of Aries, which is also intense. So Friday's a productive day. Saturday, then it's at 36 after the hour, 36 being a 9, and that's like the culmination of everything that's come first, and it's the beginning of a new journey then when we get to the next degree. The sun at 10 Aries, it will be between 10 and 11 Aries. So I was told to, once again, my phone has lost the description of the Sabian symbol that he told me to look up. So, all right, you're going to have to just bear with me while Archangel Metatron was talking about the degree for the Sabian symbol during the full moon of the sun, and it was about starting anew, like looking back at old ways of doing things and going back over things that we maybe did previously that we could find a better way of doing it. So I'm looking, this is sabiansymbols.com, and this is a website by Linda Hill. She's dedicated most of her time as an astrologer to reinterpreting or adding to the interpretation of the Sabian symbols. So Aries 10, now it's happening at 10 degrees and 44 minutes, so it's really like 10-11. So Aries 10, a teacher gives new symbolic forms to traditional messages. This symbol shows someone who can take on a thing or a situation and transform and update it. This can be things that we're familiar with. It shows the ability to restructure, reinterpret, and present them more in tune with the times, but it indicates a need for a fresh and revitalized perspective on things. And then going to Aries 11, the president of the republic, or a ruler of one's country, pictures a person who is in control, who has a sense of authority, and is called upon to do the right thing for his people, his country, and indeed his position or office. This ruler or president has the right and the duty to call the shots in their territory or sphere of operation. This symbol says that it's time to take charge and to expand your base. There may be a need to take control and command respect from others by showing that you have the confidence to make your own decisions. This is your opportunity to prove that you have integrity and the necessary energy to get things done. It's also a great time to bring a sense of order and discipline into your life, physically, spiritually, or emotionally. It is important to grasp the boundaries of your influence and power, as this will lead to a strong and renewed sense of self. Who's in charge of operations in this situation? Is it you or is it another? What can you do to strengthen your position and show that you can be relied upon to get the job done? If someone is trying to take your sense of individuality and power away through being bossy and in control, what can be done to reclaim your authority? Giving your power away to someone can lead to being taken advantage of in many ways. The undermining of one's authority can lead to a loss of position and self-respect. Stay in a good stay in a relationship only if it gives you a good sense of yourself. Whoever is involved in this situation should wield their power in a careful and thoughtful way. There may be a need to accept people's recognition of you as a person in control of your own life and your own destiny. Doing this with dignity can lead to a whole new sense of self, position, and power. So that goes in line with that whole thing that we were talking about this week with Venus, who will also be conjunct. I'm just going to mention that she will be conjunct during this week, the asteroid Eris. And Eris, it's Eris. And I talked about that her last week, that she gets a really bad rap, that she is typically called the angry divine feminine. Eris is the energy to keep the human race going. She's a determined female who's focused on saving humankind. She is going to be, but she's also, it isn't completely untrue that she isn't the angry. I mean, she is a little bit angry, but that's everything has the higher and lower energies, and then working her way up to Uranus. So it goes right in line with where the sun is, not coincidentally, because the sun is always during a full moon. We have the sun opposing the moon. That's why the moon is bright. So the sun being at that degree, answering to the full moon, is in Libra, ruled by Venus. Venus at that time, at the time of the full moon, will be in 0 degrees of Taurus, which is also ruled by Venus. So this full moon, what we're dealing with this week, is about starting starting to build our vision, our future, and it's also starting a new pattern of how we talk to ourselves and taking care of ourselves, telling yourself that you love yourself, treating yourself the way that you would treat your child or your boyfriend or your husband or your girlfriend or your boyfriend again. So, that's what we have going on this week. My website is astrologyforascension.com, and my email, if you have any questions about anything that I talked about, you can post it in the Facebook comments. If it's about your particular natal chart, you can email me at jennyb at astrologyforascension.com. And have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.